What's up, guys? Welcome to Coffee Chat. So today I am answering some questions that I've received from my audience online on Instagram. I typically get these questions once in a while where I would either post something and someone will send me a DM, or I would willfully ask, hey, if you guys have any questions, feel free to let me know. I'm happy to answer. And so today I received quite a few messages, but I will be answering 3 of them so that this will hopefully help others that are interested in the same type of questions. So let's go ahead and get started. Now, one of the few questions that I've gotten are hashtags still relevant on social media? And my response to this is yes. Hashtags, I feel, in my opinion, are still relevant. It is still heavily used on Instagram. It is used on TikTok. I know LinkedIn has their own way of finding hashtags within their own platform, but between the 2 platforms of Instagram and TikTok, that yes, they are still being heavily used. I would encourage you or anyone else to use those hashtags in order to be found. And the way I typically use hashtags is I let the audience know where I am located and what I do. I try to use terms or keywords that are relevant within my industry that won't help me find my competitors, but more so for clients that are looking for me. And in addition to that, hashtags that are known to me and my audience or past clients. So for instance, one of my most notable hashtags is Janelle C Photo, because I also do photography. So if you were to hashtag that, you would see all of my work. So typically clients know this, and so if they're reposting my work, they would include that within their hashtag strategy as well to share with their own audience. It's a great way to kind of create your own little niche that is really well known to you, specifically you, and then for your clients that may be coming in the future. So I highly encourage that you use hashtags that you know people are going to be using to research you. So if you are a home organizer, you would say South Florida home organizer. Or if you are a DJ, you would literally do hashtag Atlanta DJ. So those are the terms that most people will be searching for online to figure out who is available in the area that they're in and their profession. So I highly encourage you to continue to use hashtags so that are relevant to you and your industry so that others could find you easier online. So the next question that I've received is tips on how to be consistent. Now, consistency is very different for everybody, right? I am a mom of 2 kids. I run my own business. I'm a wife, and there's a lot of my plate. So consistency to me could be I will show up for myself and my business 3 times a week. Whereas someone who is not in my situation, who may not have kids, that have more free time, may think consistency for them is to show up every day for my brand and business online. And that's totally okay. The biggest thing at the end of the day, you don't want to encourage burnout. You don't want to experience burnout, because at that point, when you get to that point, there's really nothing that you want to do for your brand and business. So in order to avoid burnout or feeling overwhelmed, the biggest thing is that you have to figure out what consistency looks like for you. And you don't want to show up halfway, right? You don't want to half-ass anything. So you want to be able to show up for yourself at 100% if at all possible. So for you to really dig deep into yourself, you got to figure out what consistency is to you and stick to it. You got to hold yourself accountable because nobody else is going to do that for you. The more that you're not consistent online, the easier it is for your audience to forget who you are. So if you have a consistent schedule for yourself to make videos, to create content, to show up on TikTok, stick with it. It's hard until you can practice that muscle, and then it becomes easier. So create consistency in defining what it is you need to do in order to show up during the time frame that you can show up, and show up 100% of the way. Okay, and so the last question I received is, well, not really the last question, the really good question I received recently is, What are the best ways to find content online? I absolutely love this question because I could go on and on and on and on and on how you can find content for yourself online. There's so many avenues, but the number one place that I always encourage small business owners, entrepreneurs to find their way of understanding what their audience wants to see is by asking their audience what it is that they want to see. Now, sometimes the audience may not know what it is that they truly want to see. Maybe they really love your persona and what it is that you have to offer, that they, generally are just like, I just want to listen to you talk or see what you have to share or what you are truly about, which is totally fine and okay. But then you may have those members in your audience that are truly like, I want to do what you're doing. Can you share with me what you're doing? And that in itself is content. Your audience will easily tell you what it is that they want to see more of, less of, or what they are just interested in you overall. So ask the question. There's nothing wrong in asking the question to your audience in what it is that they want to see from you. So another way of finding more content topics outside of your audience that you could easily do is part of market research, right? You have to look at your competitors within your industry. You have to see what it is that they're doing good, what they're not doing well, what questions are being asked from their own audience that they haven't answered yet, that you feel that is a very great question and that you can provide the answer to. So by doing market research and analyzing your competitors within your industry, a great way is to go through their content and go through the audience's questions that are leaving feedbacks on a recent reel, a recent TikTok, an Instagram post, whatever questions that you're finding that are pretty consistent within their feed is something that you could look into for yourself and understand that that could be your own sense of content. I mean, if they're not answering those questions, if your competitors are not answering those questions, that's prime time for you to be able to respond to people within the feed of your competitor, or you could just take the question as your own and answer it as you are creating content for your own business and brand. You're not necessarily stealing content, you're just analyzing what is being asked from other people's audiences that are within the same industry. And I think that's a great way to kind of get the brain churning into how you could create more content just for yourself if other people have not been exposed to your brand and business just yet. So hopefully that helps. Another place that is extremely helpful in finding content for your brand and business is by searching YouTube. Now, YouTube videos populate within the Google search results for anything that people may be looking up. You could easily say how to start a business, and you'll have multiple variations as to the topics around starting a small business populate, in addition to showing videos of other YouTubers sharing their experiences in starting a business. Now, you could easily do the same, but by giving your own twist and sharing your own experiences on certain topics that are more relevant to you and your business. So I highly encourage you to either YouTube or just Google search certain topics and see what populates within the search results and create content that are more relevant to you, your brand, and your business. So I hope this was helpful. This Coffee Chats is one of my favorites where I'm able to answer the questions that you have sent to me. If you may have a question in regards to building a brand and a business going into the new year, I'm more than happy to answer. So go ahead and submit them to me. You could submit it to me on Instagram, and my handle is here. It is at Janelle Chung. You could find me there, or you could even leave me a question below in the comment section, and I'm happy to answer it as well too. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and like and subscribe. And until next time, keep creating.